How we doing, folks? We're back with Paranormal Unplugged. I'm Kevin.
I'm Dave.
Arnold.
And Jim.
And Jim. So we did have a special guest this week, but she had a family emergency. So we're going to be winging it tonight. So I think we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to talk about the Mount Airy Pass investigation that these guys were on. And we're also going to talk about some staying at places that were be haunted. Would you stay there or not? And then we have a special guest that's going to pop on in a little while. And she's going to be talking about the Battlefield Bash. So, Dave, so how's your week going?
It is going slow but steady, which is what wins the race.
Slow but steady. How about you, Jim? How you doing this week?
The baseball's been good. I've been hitting. I hit a guy who works up bullpens and has values. And whenever you pit a really lousy bullpen with a really good bullpen, means more than the starting pitchers. So, been proven out so far.
Uh-huh. And Arnold,
Just cutting the lawn.
just cutting the lawn.
That's it.
He's a lawn cutter. I've got to keep an eye on him. You never know what he's going to come up with and say. So let's jump into it. You know what? Let's start off with the Mount Airy Pass. So, Jim, you're up there. So tell us a little about what happened up there.
Okay, well, Pam, were you up there initially with where they had the Indian chief blocking them? Were you? Because that was before I got there.
No, I was already up and then down, and then we went back
Well,
up.
we had a psychic with us on the investigation, Stacy Lee, and evidently, when they first started up the road, then Steve Monk sort of confirmed that too. They said they were being blocked by an Indian chief, from gaining access into it. They didn't want to surround. And so luckily, I don't know if she just planned it or if she'd had some anticipation of it, Stacy, but she had offerings for the chief, some tobacco, some beef, jerk beef. And so they made an offering to the chieftain and he said, come on by. So that was pretty interesting. I wasn't there for that, but when I got there, they relayed that to me. And by the time I got there, Pam and a group were further up the trail and they had a bunch of experiences there. We were closer to the entrance of the trail and we were picking up, there were two well-defined soldiers. We had a motion detector set up and they kept hanging around it. It was just popping off all the time. And it was set back maybe 30 feet from the group. And they were just coming back over the trail, kept hitting it. And we were picking up a bunch of EVPs and they were running a Phasma box and was picking up some real interesting interactions. So where we were at was an interaction with soldiers. And then Pam, what did you got? You guys got into a whole different mess up the trail.
Yeah,
So-
we got into a turtle.
Yeah,
Turtle laying
laying
eggs.
But where they had dug out some trenches, the historians, and we actually went and sat down inside the trenches. And some of the people were kind of on the outside. We were sitting on the inside. We were running that spirit box. I'm not sure who built it. And then we were doing some EVPs, but I kind of feel like when the historians dug that it really impacted the energy there because it just felt like I should say a lot of people were just, all eyes were on us. What were we doing there? Why were we in the trenches? It just really amped up the activity there.
Now, didn't the historian also say that some previous reenactors and stuff like that had quite a few different occasions where
They saw a house, and they could see that there was a window in the house with a candle in the window, and there's no house there.
right. And that tends to promote into the colonial side
Yes.
of the experiences
Yes.
we've had. Now, I think it was on the second investigation last year, we encountered a colonial family within the woods now, that was giving us some information and basically expressing their hardships and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's just it's a great investigation, forgotten history, raising money for Friends of Monterey Past Battlefield, all in all.
then we got into the museum at the end for about a half hour.
Mhm.
And I got into an interesting thing. I saw pretty clearly, it was a young man. To me, he was like 18, 19 in that range. Sandy complexion, freckles, but he wasn't wearing a uniform. You know, they were asking me questions. He wasn't wearing a hat, wasn't wearing a uniform. They asked me, did he have shoes? Yes, he had shoes. And they said, well, what is he doing? And I said, he's sort of cowering in fear. He's hiding out, witnessing stuff. And then it sort of started coming out. I really think he had a couple of their cattle, a couple of their cows taken off their farm, and he had followed it. Like, you know, as the Confederates are bringing all that cattle and other farm animals up with him, he sort of following the group in the woods. And I think he was hoping for a spot where he could wrestle back one or more of their cows. And I think that's what his whole intention was. He wasn't, at no time did I think he was connected with either of the armies. So he was just up in that area, trying to get their farm's property back. Of course,
Right.
the Confederates, they bought most of those farm animals off of the farmers, but they used Confederate money, which was, you know, like,
Worthless.
yeah. So,
I know when you're getting about, you know, stuff like that happening up there, I know Steve Mung was talking about it because I asked him, I said, because he said, I told him when I was up there, I had a really weird feeling like I'm being watched. And I said, is there any type of, you know, the rock formations and stuff there? And he goes, well, there is a copper mine up there. I said, well, that there, because the battle was during a storm, a lightning storm, right? And I said, so you're going to have the ground is going to be energized. So
Absolutely.
whatever happens there, if we're all going by what the paranormal field is stating, that energy is amplified by using, you know, your different type of what is it, the pump? What is that called?
EM pumps.
EM pumps and stuff like that. So, what do you think would cause? What do you think that would done of having lightning striking that ground, having that copper in that ground? What would that entail doing to that area and make it more?
yeah, according to Steve, it's on your buddy's property. You know, DL's property.
Oh, DL George.
Yeah, it's on his property, the mine. It's still there. So he's been
Yeah, copper mine in the back. Yeah.
He's been wanting to try to get down there to it and see if, you know, next time Steve runs into DL, if he might be able to wrest some permission for us to get back there on it just to check it out.
Yeah, because that's amazing. I mean, because I know they're telling you about the building that appeared. That somebody said they saw a building. So I mean, if you have that much energy and you have that much copper in that ground, because I'm sure they didn't mine it completely out, you're going to have that kind of energy still built in that ground. That's going to actually be going someplace out there. So it's going to cause things to show up or give more energy to the area. If that's what the field is stating, you know, about EM puffs and everything else, electricity is coming through. The power, lightning storms always make things happen. So, I mean, having that kind of energy in that ground has got to bring something back.
And as you're walking up the trails, people collect the quartz that are laying
Yeah, there's
all over the place.
pretty large pieces of quartz are
Yeah.
embedded practically everywhere. And then Pam, also in the museum, there's some period dresses, you know, actual, back to that area. And Pam was talking with a couple of the individuals about that dress and stuff and asking questions about it. And in between the two of them, I'm recording that. And I've got another lady's voice, not with them, discussing what they're discussing.
It was great because they were professional seamstress
Uh-huh.
that they make period clothing.
Oh,
So
cool.
they knew exactly what they were talking about.
So yeah, but there was
that was
another voice there were three of them, two ladies and then
Mhm.
Pam, But in between the three of them, there was another lady with a much lower voice, a little raspiness to her. And she answered about 3 questions that Pam asked the girls that this lady was replying to. I got that EVP.
Yeah, it's a great place for sure.
So we're gonna have to get Jim to bring those EVPs over so we can actually play them.
Yeah.
So that everybody can hear what they sound
Did you
like.
get them on the Tascam or did you
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah, I told you I found my
Yeah.
Taz cam. So it's charged up and going. So
Still
yeah.
hasn't found the mic though.
No,
Yeah.
I have not found them. Mine.
It's got to be there. You found the tasking.
Yeah.
That sounds like you guys had a great time up there. I mean, it'd be neat. I still want to go back up there when it's like today it's raining. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to go up there with this. It's kind of slippery and
Yeah, well, we can take, get any evening. We can meet Steve up there and run a couple hours. Generally, as long as they're not having one of their meetings, we can get up there any evening. Say, spend a couple hours just to see what we get.
Mosquito spray.
oh yeah.
Oh no! Well, we can just even get in. The museum has been productive.
Yeah.
But even on the outside, on the little benches just in front,
Yeah.
we picked up a lot of. We actually had one of Steve's speakers once moved about 6 inches and fell off the table.
Yeah. You don't have to go all the way up in the woods.
You don't really. It's pretty.
But you won't be able to see your friend the turtle.
That turtle's gone.
Did you have turtle soup?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even touch the turtle. I let it go.
And where are they in terms of getting funds for the tollgate house?
They have that
Sign, but
the sign. I couldn't decipher it, so we'll have to ask them at the next meeting.
But they're trying to raise funds to purchase another one of the tollgate houses for the turnpike that was here.
Right.
And that was right in the middle of the battle. So when they're able to obtain that, Steve was saying we should be able to get in that tollgate house.
So they shot the cannons from up there
Yeah.
from that house down
Yep.
at them. So
Yeah, so that was a key component of the battle. And so at some point, we should have access to be able to put that in with the investigation there too.
Pretty cool. I mean, most people don't realize that that's basically the 4th day of the Battle of Gettysburg. And
Yes.
that's the retreat. And I didn't know that until I was told. And it's kind of interesting to know all that because most people feel like, oh, Gettysburg, and that's it. That's all it was there. But there's more to it. And I think that area there was kind of interesting because you had all the wounded people coming back. And, like I was told that they had people that were like, just dropped me off. It's too much pain. And it was rain and thunder, lightning, and the roads were pretty much all messed up. So, I mean,
For a beat up guy like me and a roll later, it's a challenge. Working those roads.
yeah.
So I can't
Well,
even,
those roads were left original.
Yeah.
They haven't touched those roads.
I-
They're exactly how they were when the wagons came down.
I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like to be shot up, laying on a raw board and being tossed left and right, up and down. I mean, that's got to just drive you out of your mind, the pain. I just can't even imagine that.
it's just amazing to have that kind of history in this. And then getting into the history, I was going through a couple books today and I didn't realize the stuff that was made in this town. Everybody had wood shop and stuff like that. The old clamps that rolled into the table, they were made here. I mean, it was just the stuff that's been generated in this town. It's got so much history. And it's neat learning what was made here and stuff like that and learning about the Monterey Pass and seeing all the different things that are happened in this area. Means most people, oh, it's a small town. Nothing ever happened there. A lot of stuff happened here. I mean, I didn't realize they had a trolley car system downtown. I mean, the downtown's not that big, and they had a trolley car system.
Oh, yeah?
Cars.
I didn't know that.
You never had trolley?
Nope.
You didn't think the tracks out of the main
The
street?
reason why they stopped
What's
doing the trolley cars is because they had an
The
accident.
big
Yeah.
accident where there was a gentleman. I forgot his name. I just read it today. He died, and there was like 10 of the people injured in that. So I mean, gotta say that it's kind of interesting that the town has that much history to it, and I guarantee there's a lot of people that don't know what history in the town. And
Well,
they,
Dave's got an old house older than this. How old's your house?
1890.
1890 from here. How old's your house?
well, ours we're trying to get a date on it, and they're saying 1958, but we know it's older than that. We know it's way older.
Sears house.
It's it's like a Sears.
Sears house.
Sears Roebuck's house, yeah. So I mean, do you have anything happening in your house?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we were in the house a couple weeks, and it was me and my middle daughter were home, and my wife was somewhere with the other two, and she was upstairs in her room, and I was down in the living room putting together my desk, and I hear from the back area by the kitchen, I hear hello. And I'm thinking to myself, I have not introduced myself to any of my neighbors. Who the hell just walked into my house uninvited? So I answered back, hello. And I walked back there and there's no one there. And my daughter came down and she left her door open and I could hear her TV. And I'm thinking I must have heard her TV, And she says, who are you talking to? I said, oh, I heard somebody on your TV show say hello. And I answered them. I thought it was down here. She said, it wasn't my TV. I just turned that on before I came out of my room. So we have stuff disappear and reappear in other places. And my oldest daughter left her room to go use the restroom. And she shares a room with my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter was in there dead asleep. My oldest daughter leaves the room to go across the hall to use the bathroom, leaves the door open. She comes back. Her door is shut and locked from the inside. So I got the little key and opened it, thinking that my other daughter had shut and locked her out. When we went in, she was still dead asleep, hadn't moved. So
It is very interesting on that subject. So my question to everybody here: where would you not spend the night? In one of the hauntedest place in the world. I'm going to give you 5 different locations. Okay. You got the Stanley Hotel.
Stay there. No problem.
Okay. Well, we're going to get through the first.
Okay.
Dracula's Castle.
Mhm.
Okay. In Transylvania. You got sleep in a place in the middle of Gettysburg in the battlefield. Okay. You've got the tunnels in Edinburgh, and then you got a Edinburgh's castle. Any place there that you think you would not stay?
Let's stay more.
that's
Yeah.
it all.
Let there's rats in the tunnels.
There's
No
one
would stay
There's
there.
one place that when I was younger and first investigating and stuff, that I always said, oh, I'd love to be able to go there. And now that I'm older and experienced, there's no way in hell I'd go there. I don't even want to go there for the day. And that is the concentration camps over there. That I sort of just had a sort of a fascination going there, but now that I'm older and I've actually experienced some of the anguish and pain from the other side, because once you experience that or sort of see it, you can't unsee it. So there's just no way I'd want to expose myself to that, even though you might learn a lot, and I'm sure it'd be a intense experience, but no.
And believe me, he climbs in caves. He used to go down, splunk in the caves.
So that's one place
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Nowadays there's no way I would go into any of those. And I didn't realize how many. Do you know how many concentration camps there were scattered there? There was over 5,000.
Yep.
I mean, they were like everywhere. Of course, the majority of them were, I guess, in Poland and stuff. But scattered through, there was over 5,000. What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
Sounded like somebody popping bubbles.
Yeah.
That was clear as can be.
Yeah, we all heard it.
Well,
Did you hear it? Okay.
That is weird.
maybe it was my water bottle pop, but
Nah.
it's not. It's right there. It's
And
like,
do you have the top on it? Or
yeah, the top's on it.
Nah, it's-
That sounded like someone blew a bubble and
Yeah.
popped it.
yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Hey.
Activity ready.
Look, they heard it too.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those places I'd have a problem with, but I don't think I would want to stay in the tunnels under France.
Oh, the catacomb.
The catacombs.
Yes, I don't think I would
Yeah.
want to stay there.
Wait, afraid a homeless person come get you?
No, I've just heard.
Subway system, New York City. I don't think
Oh,
I'd
there's
want to
no
go
way.
there. there's what I said never stay is there. You wanted a place, subway system, New York City. I ain't doing it.
Well, when you can ride the rats.
The Rats Alley, we don't know what's flushed down in there.
I mean, one place I think would be kind of interesting to stay over at would be actually a prison. Just
Oh, I've done a lot of prisons.
We've done overnight, not where we slept there or
Yeah.
anything, but we've been in there, till the week till say 6 a.m. All
It's
night.
not a big prison, but I did the old jail in Jim Thorpe. We actually filmed the show there, and we went in there, and I actually got to put my hand on the hand that's on the wall, and then because they say they cover that hand up and it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
The guy swore, stuck his hand in the dirt, put it up on the wall, his handprint, and said that this will prove my innocence. It'll keep coming back no matter what you
Yeah,
do.
it's one of the Molly
Yeah.
McGuires that ultimately was hung.
Right.
Said
Right.
that. Well, they said I before COVID, I was talking to the current owners at that time, and we were trying to get something, and they were going to let us stay till like 11. Like we might be able to go in at 8 and stay till 11, but they said they hadn't let any group stay overnight in the Thorpe jail up to then.
Oh,
So
we
I
went
guess
to
you
one-
guys were the
Well, we
latest.
filmed, we went through the whole jail. I mean, we went to places no one's ever been in the jail. I mean, they allowed us behind the scenes, sort of like we went through the offices, the old back rooms and all that you don't even see. So when you hit the jail cells, you got to go around them actually to get to this other area. If you watch I'll plug Generic Black Shirt Group. But if you go on there and go on our show, Paranormal After Party, and punch in the old jail, you'll see all the places we went in that jail.
That's a great place, though. That whole area.
Oh, it was great. I love to go doing that whole place. It was awesome.
We
The
did
people,
a
the owners are
church.
great.
We did a church real nearby up at Summit, and we got a lot of great stuff. The only problem is the owner. While we had permission and everything to go and everything's cool, when we started playing some of the EVPs and evidence on our show, all of a sudden we get a cease and desist order from the church. So we had to pull everything off. But
Do you ever do Burn Bray Mansion?
No.
Oh, you gotta go there. We gotta go there. It's a friend of mine. You gotta go
Oh,
there.
you've told me about.
Oh yeah, that place is
couple
great.
times.
Yeah, Burn Bray is awesome.
Yeah, you've told me about that.
Yeah, I can get you up there.
I'd love to get back to the Keeley
Yeah, the
up in
What's his-
Uniontown.
Adam
Adam.
Sedlock, who's used to do that paranormal
Paranormal State.
state. He used to work paranormal state. He at the time he owned it. I don't know if he still does, but that was something captured Dave there.
That's the only place I've ever lost time. And I didn't like it.
I think the neatest place I went to, one of the neatest places, and it's not, I don't know what it's called now, but it was called Daniel's Resort in Canadentus, PA. We went there and filmed. Now, the funny thing about this guy, talk about it now, it actually never aired. We went in with Bob. Christopher was there with us, and we were filming his show there. And we went in there, and this was on Ghost Detectives, and we go through the whole restaurant. And the guy's like, well, the resort, and the guy says to us, people are getting scratched here, scaring my workers, blah, blah, blah. It's going on. Can you check the place out? So we go there and check it out. And we're walking through, and Anthony was with us, and we all have our cameras. We filmed our own show. We didn't have a big camera crew. We filmed the whole thing. So we're walking, and we go into the kitchen where the activity happens. As soon as we walk in, Anthony goes, ah. I go, what the heck's wrong with you? And I'm standing right next to him. He goes, something just scratched my arm. And you look down, and you actually see these welts. We got on camera where it just started forming right down his arm. Then we went through, we left there, didn't really get nothing after that. Went around the rest of the resort and went to all the rooms and stuff. There's like a little hotel and all that stuff, and did all this stuff. Got some EVPs and stuff. On the way out, we were walking out, and I had a guy filming me coming, Adam, and then someone behind me. Same spot as I went past that door. My back was like on fire. I'm like, and they lift my shirt up, and there comes the welt right down my back. Yeah, but I got sick from that. I felt sickness from there. That Bob Christopher said, get outside now, get out of here. And I got out of there because I thought I was going to throw up and everything else. I never had that happen to me before where I got sick. I mean, I've got pushed, I've got scratched before I got that, but that was something that hurt really bad. I mean, it's like someone just took a knife in my back and just brought it right down. So Bob says to the guy at Daniel's Resort, the owner, he says, listen, he goes, we captured this. We captured the spot. We were talking, and the guys got scratched on. The guy's like, don't air it. Why? He goes, people won't come here. Well, what did you have us come here with? We're trying to figure out who's here for you, you know?
Yeah.
So we never aired that episode. It really had a lot of good evidence in it, too.
Wow.
And he had like I forget what they called, it was like sort of like a club room house, a separate house in the resort. But they called it some kind of club up there. And it was like a meeting house. I went in there and we got over the thing. It was funny. And Mike Curtis goes, hey, Scooby-Doo here. And came right over the spirit box. Scooby-Doo. Awesome. So we had some good evidence, but we couldn't air it. I didn't want us to air it.
I still think that time you and Pam were with Dave and I, we were all at the what you might call it, in Gettysburg, the line cabin, Thaddeus Stevens,
Mhm.
and we were all in that back room.
Remember that?
It
Yeah.
comes out, Petty is dead.
Yeah, Tom Petty
Tom
dead.
Petty is dead.
And then sure enough, he was dead.
Remember, I was like, oh my God, don't say that.
And he
had just
died
died.
like an hour or so
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, that came over.
Yeah, that was so clear.
Then we had Thelma there. Thelma at Thaddeus Stevens, where she was on EVP
Yeah.
coughing. I got to find that recorder. I saved that recorder. I wouldn't tape on it no more. So I find where I put it. But she's in there and she goes, I said, who's here? And you're, it's like she had tuberculosis or something. And she goes, it's Thelma. And it was like, it was a little girl's voice. It was so sad. I hate that. When I get EVPs and I get a child come over, I don't like that. That's another thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
I just don't like that because I don't think they got a fair shake on her life. So, but I just don't like that bothers me.
That place was a gold mine. I remember the very first time we got it.
What that is?
Yeah, we invited in Rob and Nikki,
Right.
and we were going to have a nice dinner. I was making dinner, and then we were going to investigate. Well, Jim's sitting in the dining room doing something on his laptop, and I don't know even why, but you had your Tascam recording the whole time. And I'm in the kitchen cooking this roast in the rotisserie like I do. And it just hit me, what if nothing happens? We've invited these people from out of town. They've come from another state, blah, blah, blah. So I said to Jim, what happens if we don't get anything tonight, if it's a dud? Jim's like, well, that happens sometimes. It is what it is, and you just keep trying. And okay. So I went back to cooking, and then Jim stopped his recorder and was playing it back, and you hear our whole conversation. And after I say, what if it's a dud? And Jim says it is what it is. You just keep trying. You hear a woman's voice say, dinner smells great.
Really?
And I
Kyle's
was
on
like,
here.
we are golden.
Yeah.
Kyle's on
that
here.
was-
Kyle, am I correct? Kyle's family owns the White Hill Mansion, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. I have never been up there yet. I want to get up there. He's invited me up there. I want to get up there because I want to check that place. I've heard so much about it, but I've never got time to get up there yet. But I want to get up there and do it. So Kyle, I will hook up with you probably at the bash. We'll talk about it. I want to get up there and check that place out. I've heard so much about it. I just never can get up there. I got to see my grandchild that was born 8 months ago finally yesterday. So that's where I'm at, Kyle. It's nothing against your establishment. Just can't get up there. I've been trying to get there. But yeah, I heard so much about that place too. So
There's so many places on the East Coast
St. Albans.
that'd be amazing to go to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
St. Albans is
No one's
awesome.
ever everyone I know who's ever done.
You ever been there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's had a productive.
I love that
I've
place.
never
Oh
No.
my God, you gotta go
No.
there. I went there with Sninsky and no, it wasn't Sninsky didn't show up. It was Rick Savage went, right? Rick went with us. Was Sninsky with us? Yeah, I think he was, right? Yeah. We went there and went through there. I'll tell you what, he's the funniest person to go with, Sninsky. We were in Boyertown.
He farts.
he drinks protein shakes, so it's like anyone drinks protein shakes, watch out.
Right.
But we were in Boyertown, and what were we doing? What's the name of that place?
The Twin Turret.
No, not the Twin Turrets, the bar, Durango's. We're doing Durango's. We're down in the basement of Durango's, and Durango's has these pipes, steel pipes going across for the plumbing and all. and it's pitch black down there. And Sninsky's following behind me. Now, you know, he's like almost 7 foot tall, right? So we're walking, and all of a sudden I hear, ding, on the front of his head. He smacked his head so hard. He's like, Jesus Christ. And he ducks under it, and he goes again about another 2 feet. Wham again. He hits another
man.
bike. See, I laughed
Keep
so hard.
down.
I laughed so
It's not
hard.
my
We
fault.
we talk about this all the time. If he's watching, he may be. You never know. He'll come on and be his.
Well, that's Dave. Well, we were at. I think it was like the second time we were at the
Bel Air.
Bel Air house, and something in the basement did not like.
Yeah, you were attached to, didn't you?
Well, it was when she first moved into that place, the worker that she had working for her, fixing up the house, he looked just like me. Like we could have passed for twins.
Yeah.
And whenever he worked in the basement, it attacked him.
Mhm.
So my guess is it saw me, thought I was him, and came in.
Yeah, Kristen showed us a picture, and there was a strong similarity, but it didn't. So the one time they deliberately set him up, put him down in the basement.
We had the
We've got
phone
the
pod
cameras
going,
on.
and we had
So you're
DVR cameras.
He's bait.
Yeah.
He's bait.
Uh-huh.
And
And
it put its hands in my armpit and just lifted. My head went right up
But-
the ductwork.
but Tom, before that, he's looking at one of the gauges, and it goes 666, and he goes, "Uh-oh!" And
I
it
said, "Oh, shit."
advances his head up into the ceiling.
Yep.
It lifted you?
Yeah, but it was funny because he's looking over at this gauge, and you know, and he goes, "Oh, this
Oh,
is
shit.
good, 666."
Well, that's what
The
happened.
temperature was 66.6.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a town up by Milford, PA. It's called was it Greentown? No, it's not Greentown. What is it? Back at the town. God, it's been a while since I've been up there. But anyway, between Hawley and in Milford, and my friends live there, and they have a farmhouse, and that farmhouse was my place where I got all the best EVPs.
Is that the one with the TV set?
Right, the TV. I had the kid in
Yeah.
the TV and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, and that was like my scientific area to go study paranormal. I went there by myself every day. So I went there, and they give me the house, and I was actually called there to check their house out because her husband was accusing her of having an affair. So she goes, "Can you come check the house out?" Because he's saying he hears voices, he's put recorders all around the house. He hears this guy's voice, hears me talk, then hears him talk. And what's this guy doing at the house while he's at work? I said, "I'll come over, but I'm only coming over when your husband's there. I'm not going over now." So she calls me up, my husband's here. So I come over there, and his name, I won't mention. I don't know if they want their names mentioned. But anyway, I go over there, I talk to the husband, and he says, "Hey, you know, my wife, I think, is cheating on me. Here I got all the recordings." So I listened to recordings. You know how an EVP is a lot lower. A lot of times, I said, "I think you have spirit in your house." He goes, No, I don't think so." She goes, see, he doesn't believe me. I tell you, things are moving. So I said, "All right, I'll be back tomorrow with my team." I had DPRT, which was Dark Illusions Paranormal team we had. So what we did was we put DVR up, and I had this guy, John Mayer, go upstairs, who's on my team. He's filming with this girl, Terry. And he asked, I got a couple of EVPs while I was at the house that day before I left. And one of the EVPs were, "I don't like much people." That's how the guy talked. "I don't like much people." So I'm like, okay, it's language back then, I guess. So John asked that question. He's up there the second day. He's like, "I heard the guy doesn't like much people here." You start hearing. And all of a sudden it goes boom, like someone took a shotgun. It's just like it was building up energy. It sounded just like a shotgun went off, like someone just pulled the trigger and boom. And when I played that for the person in the house, they were like, "Whoa, what's actually here?" Because then I kept going back, and I get EVPs, and I got one that says, "We're from Mexico." I said, every time I act like there was a Revolutionary War or something going on, I go, "I'm out of ammunition. I need ammunition. Someone get a cannon over here." And you hear, I said, "Who's here with me?" And in the background, I heard, "We're from Mexico. We're the Mexican heart." You hear him in the back distance yelling that. And then I got one guy,
Did you ever see if there was an army group or something named?
No, I want to go
Mexican
back. I can go back now, and I think that's something we should do. And I'm sure we'll
Army?
do
Oh, I know
that.
you love it.
The reason why I haven't been back
It was the
there,
French and Indian War up there. wasn't it?
yeah, the reason why I haven't been back there, and I haven't been back there probably 8 or 9 years now, and I want to go back. I want to see if the spirits remember me, because I used to sit on the staircase, and they talk to me all the time in this house. And the kid in the TV, which I showed, which you can
Right.
find on YouTube under Dark Illusions 2010. If you punch that in, Dark Illusions 2010, you'll see the kid in the TV. That's on YouTube. But their mother ended up getting diabetes. She lost her one leg. And then Terry, well, I can say her name, Terry, I guess. They don't know it was on. But anyway, her mother, they had to take her second leg. So now Terry had to pick her mother up and carry her to the bathroom. So she didn't want anyone at the house. It was just a thing.
Right, sure.
So then her mom passed away at probably like 94. She was up there in age. She lived a nice long life. But she finally did pass, and now I can go back to the house where all the action happened up in the second floor, pretty much. They moved their bedroom downstairs to where the mother was staying, and they don't use the upstairs of the house anymore. They said, we don't even go up there anymore. All the stuff that happens in that house.
Did they have any clue what might be?
We tried doing history on the house, and I couldn't find nothing. I have to go to the archives of Milford, punch in their address, and then see exactly what happened. I'm sure
Sure.
something had to happen there to have all the activity that's happened at that house.
A lot of times, so there's no record.
But here's the weird thing. Their house is like located straight, like if I'm staring right at it, right? If you go through the woods and over Roger owns like 100 acres there. I can say their name, saying get here. Get on the other side. Unless I don't say their last name. They're cool.
All of a sudden-
But anyway, get over here.
Okay.
But you get over the other side of the mountain, and was the house I was renting. All right. And next to the house is called the boarding house. We called it the boarding house. And there's an episode on Paranormal After Party of the boarding house. And the funny thing is, Flip Searles and Anthony Romano were downstairs with, I think it was Sam. I think Sam was with them. But they were all down in the basement, and they were filming the show. And I was in my house, which was right across the yard. I was renting a house there. So I went over to get a drink. They go, all right, we're just going to keep filming. They went down in the basement. Well, if you watch the episode, you see they're playing an SB7 radio. And Anthony starts asking questions. He goes, who's down here with us? Who's down here with us? And another voice comes over and goes, the demon. And then Anthony goes, oh, come on. Is there really a demon here? He goes, show yourself, whatever. And all of a sudden, something just rubbed up against his arm, and you see Anthony freak out. And Anthony's not a small guy. He's like, what the hell? He's like freaking out. It was funny as crap. And they kept asking and are saying, who's here? Is there really a demon here? And they came back over. It's the demon. The voice came right over again. And then it goes, the demon, whatever it was, came over and says, if you keep this up, I will F you, and all this stuff it was saying right over. It's on the episode. You can hear it, what he says right over. We left it on the episode. Oh, yeah, him coming right through the radio. And then so what they do is, the funny thing is they stop and they come out to the house and go, man, you won't believe what happened here. I go, what? They go, we're not going to tell you. You got to go down in the basement. I'm like, okay. So I'm in the basement, and they leave me down there by myself with a recorder. They want to see if this thing attacks me after they antagonized it. I'm like, yeah, right. But nothing happened to me. They couldn't believe it. I come out. I said, what's the matter? There's nothing down here. I'm not getting even EVP. They're like, really? Yeah. Until I saw the footage later, and I said, you son of a bees, you put me down there and after you antagonized this thing. I was like, but yeah, those are some great spots I want to get back to. Awesome place. I love going to see everyone goes to like Trans-Allegheny, Waverly, all these big places, Eastern State, Moundsville. They're all great places. Don't get me wrong. They're really, because I enjoyed every one of them I've been to. Eastern State, I've never been to.
Generally, most people are disappointed with Eastern State.
I'd rather go to a place that no one's done before. I like that, like a house, someone's house, because I like to see one. I like to help them and see what's there, see if things are actually happening. And you got to go there. You can't just go there one night. You have to go a couple nights. Because when we filmed the show, we found out we can go into one location on a Friday. We'd film from Friday to Sunday for 22 minutes of film. All right. So you go in there and you're filming all these hours, crazy hours a night. And some nights nothing would happen.
Right.
We go in the next night and all hell would break loose. And then the next night it'd be quiet again. Or maybe all 3 nights are all totally active. You never know what's going to happen. So that doesn't mean it's not haunted. And I tell you what, we did places and nothing happened. So we never said, hey, it's not haunted, but just nothing happened. So, we'd air that too. If something didn't happen, we aired the show. It didn't happen. Nothing happened there.
I think that's what some of these shows are missing nowadays. It's
Oh, yeah.
gotta have.
Oh, they changed it some. You know why? When you sign a contract, I can say it now because there's no way I'm getting on any show now. I'm too old for that crap. But but anyway,
Tomorrow.
yeah, right. Tomorrow I'm signing. But the thing is, with that is you're bought. Once you sign that paper, you're bought. And there's a celebrity, I won't mention his name. I know I slipped before. But the thing is, I sat with this guy for a while, and he was on one of the top shows, and he told me, he goes, don't wish to be on TV. I said, why? He goes, one, you work all the hours, and they don't care. So if you're on the set for 10 hours, they go, break. Oh, no, you can't break. All the union workers break. They bring new union workers into film, but you got to keep going. And not only that, what they do to you is also, they feed you well. He told me that. You get fed well. They pay for your transportation, all that stuff. But when they pay for your transportation and your flight's delayed, you better get there. And where they're filming, they don't care if you have to take a train, rent a car. That's on you now. So you got to do that. That's what I heard they were doing back then. I don't know what they're doing now, but that's what they were doing back then. So don't be careful what you wish for. All these people think, I'm going to be the next Jason Hawes. I'm going to be the next, Zach Bagans. I want the money. I'm going to be so.
Well,
It takes a lot to get there.
When the Ghost of Shepherdstown, all that shit, they own it all. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have full discretion. The underwriting company.
Well, so does Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, and so
Smart move.
they had a lot of really neat stuff that they would have liked to have shown. For whatever reason, maybe it wasn't tantalizing enough.
And Project Fear too. They own their stuff, and that's the smartest way you can go. You own it. The production company don't own it.
Right.
So that's a really smart move on all those guys that do that stuff. So
Well,
kudos to you.
I mean, everything's moving off the TV now. This is going straight to YouTube.
It is.
Well, everything's going off of production and going to AI.
Yeah.
So you know what they can do now? They can make characters right now they can make a whole haunted show, a whole investigation like Ghost Adventures, and just put different actors in. But all they need is 5 seconds of your voice, and they can make you say anything.
Yeah.
They can make a character sound just like you, and you would know the difference.
And it's crazy to see the stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is sad seeing everything going that way. Because I mean, you can tell with AI. You can tell usually when they make some AI stuff, the heads move a certain way. They start repeating the movements and stuff. You sit there and watch it, you can see it happening, and it's not enjoyable.
And how what the evidence, if it was a show and you couldn't tell, is it real? Yeah. Honestly, because they put in AI, they can put anything in there.
Are we actually here?
Yeah, I don't know. You can make yourselves invisible right now.
Yeah, we could.
To show you how big AI is, they just had that NVIDIA chip maker, which is the main, chip with generating all that. Just did a 10-for-1 stock split and became the first, $3 trillion company in the world. It's now way bigger than.
Do you have any of it?
No. NVIDIA's always been. I know. Believe me, if I had put 10,000 in NVIDIA 10 years ago, forget it. I'd be on a yacht somewhere.
You wouldn't be here.
Oh Lordy!
You'd be like, who?
What I mean,
do you want me to do?
it's amazing the money driving all that stuff. It's just staggering.
I remember when NVIDIA first started out with their chips, it was nothing. It's like, oh, it's not going to be IBM.
Yeah,
It sure did.
If you didn't do paranormal, what would you want to do if you weren't doing paranormal? Besides, would you go to cryptids, UFO, or anything like that? What?
I like, some of the shows that I watch that I really get into is the cryptid stuff. I mean, I grew up with, what was it? Leonard Nimoy did it.
Oh, In Search of.
In Search of. I grew up watching In Search of. So I mean that always got me, going out there and trying to find something that's different and stuff like that. My brother and I would just sit there and watch it all the time. Like, come on, we watch In Search of, and it's the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, UFOs, all that stuff.
Who was the girl that dropped the camera stuff off here, Pam? What was her boyfriend's name? Jason? Michael. Michael and I were up there after we saw the turtle on the trail of Monterey Pass. We were walking down. He goes, actually things died out until we got down to the museum. Things had died out on the trail, so we weren't getting nothing. I said, hey, listen, we turn this investigation to Bigfoot. Get a big stick, start banging on a tree. So we get a response. Because we're in the middle of nowhere in the woods, So you never know.
Aren't they supposed to be along the Appalachian Trail too?
Well, the Appalachian Trail is right up the street here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
right there. So I mean,
What do you call it? Appalachian?
Appalachian. Is it Appalachian?
Appalachian.
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 Appalachian. Whatever.
Appalachian.
Give me a hard time here.
Tomato.
Tomato. It's gonna radiate
With the
Right.
That's somebody from Boston.
it. Yeah, or Jersey.
You're from Jersey. What are you talking about?
I don't say radiator. I say radiator.
Radiator. It's radiator.
See. But yeah, I mean, doing that stuff. I mean, cryptid stuff would be kind of cool to see. UFOs and stuff like that. I mean, like,
Jerry Soap's in there. Hey, Jerry.
some of the stuff that you get to see is kind of interesting. When you're out there doing stuff like that. I mean, it'd be interesting to actually. I mean, what would you do if you discovered that?
You got a message. Your brother came to someone today. Tammy?
That's my sister-in-law. Oh boy. I'll have to give her a call later. Find out what's going on. Yeah. Have to look into that stuff. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, what would you done if you actually were out in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden you came across Bigfoot? Well, what would you?
I wasn't worried about Monterey Pass with Bigfoot. I was worried that bear would come down the path. I mean, we're out there with flashlights. We're going to hit him with a K2 meter. I mean, honestly,
You know what they say?
you can't outrun a bear
You
anyway.
just outrun somebody that's slower
That's
than you.
it. That's it.
Yeah. you
I only
said-
had to outrun Jim. That was good. That was good. Huh? Jim had that roll later.
Too hard.
Jim had that roll later, so.
You'd be like, get away.
You know, I had to beat Jim down the mountain.
You'd be like, damn you.
Sorry, Jim, but you know how it is.
What they say, yeah.
I mean,
They
Hit him with
got a
the
bear
flashlight.
up at Camp Hill the other day. It was up in a tree right downtown, and they had a tarp, and they had it.
Tranquilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was okay. They got it.
that's crazy though. I mean, well, there's so much wildlife in the area.
You go in the Poconos, you get some big bear up there. Pam knows. So I was renting a place there. They thought, what was it, Danny at the time? Thought it was going to come through the window. Just walk around the house.
Yeah, I was like, close those
Yeah,
windows.
just close the windows. Think it could come right into the house. I had a bunch of them up there in the park. They used to come over all the time, the bears.
Wow.
Big black bears.
How many bears are around this area here?
Right up on Bear Mountain, right up towards Blue Ridge.
Uh-huh.
Read the sign. Bear Camp Road, and what do they call that road? Bear Mountain Road. Bear Mountain Road.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's called because there's all bear up there. Supposedly, I don't know. I haven't seen one. I went up there. I haven't seen one get hit by anything hit a bear. I've seen a lot of deer get hit.
Oh yeah,
but I haven't seen a bear. I haven't seen a bear anywhere
Or
here.
bears.
the bears.
But you go in Poconos, you see them all done.
Oh yeah.
They're all over the place.
I mean, come on, look at Jersey Paranormal. They're at the mine, and Chris almost got
Don't get me on the mines because I love the mines.
Chris almost got attacked by a bear that one night.
I'll tell you right now,
That place is amazing.
that place I love that place. They know it. They know it.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a fun place to go to. There's
I love it. You know what? I like that, and I like the caves. When I do the caves over here, the reason why I don't know, I like being underground. Jim probably loved being underground because he spelunk for how many years did you spelunk?
Yeah.
Jim's been up there.
He's climbed
Till
through
my
caves.
knees went bad.
Yeah, but he used to go down in caves. He has the hat and everything with the light, and
is it the one with the
I don't know. Actually,
candle
it's right
or
next to
the
you.
gap?
We started with the old brass carbides, but then later, toward the end, everybody went to electric setups.
That was my water bottle. I heard it that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
That's probably what popped.
Yeah.
that was loud if it was that pop. That wasn't loud.
No, that was a crack from the water
Yeah.
bottle. The other one was a pop.
Yeah. You never know when you're watching the show what's going to pop through. And
There,
Different
you know,
locations.
in the cage, when we did the cage, though, I don't know, I doubt if it's still like that, but there was some, you know, during the Civil War, the South got its nitrate for its powder from caves. There was in the Texas and the, you know, Southwest, there were the bat caves with the guano, high nitrate. And so they used that, that's where they got the nitrates. And then here in the Eastern region, there were a lot of caves down through the Appalachians and stuff where saltpeter is into the caves. So we actually, there were caves in lower, like Bath County and Pocahontas County, West Virginia, where in the back areas, there were the old sluicing trays they used.
Mhm.
Now they had the, you know, the minerals had all, so it was like all stalactite trays. The wood was long since gone, but the minerals had mounted over them. They were still laying there from the Civil War period. You could see the solid walls of white where it was like, you know, huge deposits of saltpeter. And that's, they mined those things, brought them up through the valley, and that provided the gunpowder for the South, because they didn't have access to the good nitrate that the North did. So they fought with sort of an inferior gunpowder mixture. But yeah, there was some of that stuff was still in the trays, you know, still in the cage,
Right.
which is pretty neat. And then the neatest thing we ever found, we had a scout group. We were in this Hamilton cave, West Virginia, and one of the kids found it was a large bone. You could tell it was an animal bone. It was fused into the rock wall, and there were other bones stemming from it. And of course, we couldn't identify what the hell it was, but we reported that to, you know, professional organizations. Ultimately, it got back to National Geographic. Turned out it was the first saber-toothed tiger found east of the Mississippi. They closed the cave down for about 2 years and extracted it. And from what we had heard, they got a full skeletal, you know, full saber-toothed tiger skeleton out of that. And the kids in our troop got credited for the find, you know, which was sort of neat.
that's cool.
And that's where the fortune, you know, I don't know who would buy it, but I mean,
Andrew Darling.
Yeah.
you pay about $5,000, $10,000 for a saber-toothed tiger tooth.
Yeah. I mean, well, when I talk to Ann,
Which reminds us that that's what he's bringing to the bash is a saber tiger
it's a
mold.
it's a bust.
It's a bust of
It's a
mold.
bust of a mold from a mold that actually they found at the Berea tar pits.
Wow. And Dave's got that friend. You have a friend who has,
That's what we're talking about. Andrew.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I started following him on TikTok and stuff, and some of the things he'd have, I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, those are neat!" Just to be able to go out there to do what he does and see it being done and see it coming out of the ground is amazing in itself. It's like, you know, when you have a paranormal experience, it's the same thing, same kind of thing. You have something that nobody's seen in, you know, years, decades, or whatever. You know.
Well, they just discovered a new dinosaur. Not real impressive, probably the smallest dinosaur. Full size is about the size of a cow.
Hmm.
So that's a rather recent find. So, you know, it's still evolving.
They said dinosaurs are still living in the Amazon.
Yeah. I think this one they had pegged
Did that on
like
Facebook
20
the other
million years ago.
Oh, wow.
No.
What don't you buy?
That there are still dinosaurs alive in the Amazon.
There's pygmies in the Amazon that are eating dinosaurs. There's alligators, there's snakes, there's lizards. Those are all considered.
You been ever in the Amazon?
No, I'm just going by what I see.
I'm okay with not going to the Amazon.
No,
I've seen too many cannibal movies.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Besides, look what happened to Joe Biden's brother.
As his uncle.
Him too.
Yeah, it was his uncle.
Ah,
Oh, the things that we come across. So it's kind of interesting to see the different things that pop up when you talk about the cryptics and the Amazon and stuff like that. I mean, it's just so much stuff around the world that things are happening, and there got to be something out there. There's got to be some truth to the stuff that's out there because there's too many people watching it and seeing it happen.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of interesting when somebody turns around and walks up, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. Have you ever experienced it?
No.
And that's the problem. But there's been thousands and thousands of people that have experienced stuff over decades and decades. I mean, there's always been something about, there's always that story, so and so and track and this whole town, this train came through and it got obliterated itself. It crashed into a building and stuff like that. And 100 years from then, you could hear that train whistle going down the track, and that story comes back. And it's like, did it actually happen or did it not happen? But the whole truth is there.
Well, I'd experienced, unfortunately, there was a guy years ago, I loaned a number of our pictures to him, and then he lost the whole freaking portfolio. So some of my really earliest stuff, so I lost. But anyhow, we were out west, and it was in that mining area there near the silver mines and stuff in
Calico?
out in that area. And anyhow, there'd been a real upscale hotel or something like that out there at the time, and it had burnt down years ago with a lot of loss of life. And there's like nothing there except a few remnants of the foundation. That's it. And we were there one night going around the grounds doing a bunch of stuff, and I took a series of pictures. And here, not that it was clear, but you could see in the pictures, it was the frickin' building. Now, it was, like I said, it wasn't real sharp to define, but it was there, and it was sort of a little hazy, but it was the building. And I'm like, what the shit is this? It's a building. It wasn't life. But here, there's some energy still existing there relating to that battle. And I think it was probably the fact that there was a loss of life, somehow that keyed to the physical aspects of the building, and it produces like an energy trauma or something.
Right, the trauma.
And you get back to the same way at the Flying Dutchman boats. The boat's inert, but there was life connected with it, and souls were lost, and somehow every so often that materializes. So that sort of goes in with what you were saying. I think that whenever there's a loss of life, all that energy make a form of an imprint.
Well, I know there's people out there and say, oh no, here it goes. But if you have things that are made out of earthen material, trees, sandstone, stuff like that, glass is made out of sand. So, I mean, you're going to have things growing out of that. You're going to have energy from those things. And why wouldn't it come back up? Especially if you got a silver mine, you've got something that's conductive. You got a copper mine, you got conductive. So why wouldn't the energy be there?
Right.
You can discuss it when you come back.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll discuss that and why you flash your neighbors all the time.
Okay.
Urban Edge, a distinctive edge your tattoo needs. Tascam is considered one of the professionals in audio recording equipment worldwide and committed to providing a reliable product, including audio recorders. Tascam, create like a pro.
are. Where are we at? Click, come on. Sorry, guys, technical difficulty here. Just trying to get things up and running. Come on.
Okay, what's going on? Get us back
I'm
in.
trying to get us back in there. Dave stepped away. He's normally doing this. And I'm trying to get it back up in there and running. So, come on. Nope, that's not it.
He did something up there, dude.
Up here?
Yeah, so he switched like from here.
Okay, hold on a second, guys.
Was somebody saying something?
Pam is.
Oh,
Just trying to get us back up on the page. Not it. You can hear us? Can you hear us still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So
They're probably laughing like
they're
I
probably
am.
laughing.
I don't run the computer. I run the sound, so I'm letting these guys run the computer. It's
And-
just getting comical.
And I'm trying to get it up and running, guys. So I do apologize.
That's chat. You're scrolling.
Yeah, I
through.
know. That's chat. See, leave. President.
Dave didn't tell you before.
Dave
you
didn't
left.
tell me before he left. And
What? Someone's gonna come on here and tell you what to do.
exactly. I haven't done the full run yet. Captain, I haven't powers.
What's up here?
What?
What's that? Right here.
Those are where they're streaming to.
Okay.
There's the banners. There's the brands.
That's where he switched from. He went in there and did the commercials. That's all he did.
Logos, commercials, overlays. And
Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down.
I don't know where you did it. There. We're off the air. No, they can still hear us. Just to imagine that we're sitting in front of you and we'll get it figured out here in a minute, guys. So I do apologize. So let's see. And that's that. I want to do that. We want to bring this up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll play some.
What did he hit?
You might want to call Dave on your phone and say, "Hey, Dave, what do I got to hit here? Because I
don't
can't
have
get back
his- I don't
on."
have his number.
Yeah.
Jim grab it for me. Thanks, Jim.
Is that it?
don't call it
Look at that.
paragraph.
Look at that.
Hey, look at that. Hey,
Oh, I figured it.
I figured it out.
No, I told you to hit
Well,
that.
you
You weren't even looking.
See, that's
so
why-
what did you hit?
I don't know, but I hit something up there. No, it's not actually up here. So, hey, what can we say? You know, let's get back to what we were talking about. What were we talking about?
We were
We're talking about how you flash your
energies
neighbors.
with inanimate.
Oh, yeah. So I look at it this way: if a tree has energy to it and it's been made into wood, wouldn't it still have a form of energy to it? And then if you have, iron, steel, copper, silver underneath the ground, and that conducts energy, wouldn't energy also be broadcast through that? So if you have a building that had a horrifying thing happen to it, it burnt down, people's souls are in it, wouldn't, tell me if I'm wrong, wouldn't it be the energy from those peoples and that energy from that building that was built together, all the energy putting that building together, wouldn't that actually give it some kind of conduction to come back up?
Well, it's a spiritual colony in Florida down at Casadega, which was formed after as people left Lilydale and formed Casadega down in Florida. So it's a lot smaller than Lilydale, but it's pretty neat. They have an area in the back near their big meeting house where one of the properties burnt down years ago. And according to the people there, again, it's just an empty lot. Every so often, they'll see the house there. They can come out under certain conditions or whatever. People living there in Casadega will see that house standing in that area.
So some people are saying, well, that's just doesn't happen. It's a figure of your imagination. But I think that there's got to be some truth to that because it's got to be. I mean, if there's energy, if we're all made of energy,
And we say we don't destroy energy.
yeah. So it's got to be there. It's got to be an organism that's actually been put out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people out there saying, "Oh, that's not happening." I mean, they don't, what is it? What do they call those? Elementals.
Right.
And people are, "Oh, I don't know what that is. I don't believe in that." But you got to have something there. The Indians believed in it. Tribes believed in all that stuff, elementals and stuff like that. Elementals, excuse me. So I mean, if you have that kind of energy that's been traumatized and you have a building that burnt down and you have all this stuff that was made from the earth, got to have energy running through it. You have people that put their energy into it. And then you have a tragedy that tears it down and people lose their life in it. Where'd that energy go?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thing. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see that the stuff like that, happening. So, but also we wanted to get in here and get Pam jump in here. She's got some information we need to get out there because I think it's going to be really interesting what she has to say. So, Pam, and Steve's got
Just speak loud enough, I'll pick you up.
got the Battlefield Bash going on,
So I
and
just wanted to remind everybody about the VIP dinner. So I'm going to be putting another person up that we're going to be having dinner with right now. We have Dave Schrader, we have Johnny Zaffis, and we have the Searchers. They will be having dinner with us, dinner, cocktails, and dancing. So the menu for the VIP party is assorted cheese tray, fruit kebabs, veggie tray, grilled cheese, and tomato soup shooters.
It's like appetizers, right?
Yes. Tossed greens and dressing, antipasta salad, chicken parmesan, baked ziti, Italian sausage, peppers and onions, vegetarian lasagna, Italian vegetable blend, garlic bread, tiramisu, coffee, tea, decaf, and iced teas, and a cash bar. But all of the food for $85 per person. It's going to be Friday, July 26th at the Bash from 7 to 9:30 in the Aspire Ballroom. So we do have some tickets left for that. And if you're interested, just leave a message either on my personal Facebook page or on the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and we will get you all of the information to purchase your tickets.
And you can win 2 tickets still for another week, and then we're going to close that down.
Yeah.
Tell them what they got to do for that, Pam.
So we do a Christmas in July for the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. So we might change that. We might keep it. So what we're asking is for people to please do a video, say why you come to the bash or why you want to come to the bash if it's your first time, and then give us an idea for the new
Theme.
for the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. And like I said, it might remain the same. You guys are going to tell us what to pick. Again, because you guys all picked the Christmas in July theme, so we want to do what everyone wants.
And I was really surprised because we haven't got a lot of entries on that. And I thought we'd get a ton of entries on that because you're getting $180. What is it? 170? Yeah, 170 in tickets for free and just to do a video. But I guess people don't have time. That might be the problem. So that's the only way I'm giving tickets out.
I think it's going to be good. I think everybody should jump on the bandwagon with that because I think it's going to be one of the neatest things that you're going to have going on. I mean, you can go and have dinner.
Well, it's the first VIP party of the bash. We've never done this before.
So I think that's.
And it's not expensive. We go to other conventions or their VIP parties are more than what we're charging.
Well, if you're even going out
You're
to
getting
dinner,
a full dinner.
You're going
Yeah.
out to dinner.
You're getting a full dinner, everything. I mean, appetizer, full dinner. But I'm just saying for the contest, I'd be running the video. I'd take a gamble on it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the video doesn't have to be extraordinary. I mean, you can film yourself on your camera and just say, "Hey, why you want?"
Well, the thing is, you might win. You might win on your idea. Might not win on why you're coming. You might win on your idea. Hey, that's a great idea. We can think of that. So it's not. You can't say, "Oh, my video wouldn't be that good," but your idea might be great. It could be vice versa too. Your video could be good, but your idea could be awful. So you never know. Why not take the chance?
Yep.
And what you do is you send those videos to Pam or I in a private message on our Facebook, and then we take them, and then we will post those videos up on Facebook and let the people judge.
It's a win-win situation, guys. I mean, I think it's great. You know, the bash is for. It's for the vets.
Yep.
You know, and let's make sure you stand behind them and let's get things moving with this. I think this year I've seen some of the stuff that's going to be happening. I was privileged to see some of the stuff that's going to be happening, and I think it's going to be neat. I've only been to one bash, and that was last year. And I'll tell you what, it is just amazing the stuff they're having this year. I mean, it's just mind-blowing what Pam and Steve have gone through to get this thing up to what it is. And if you've never been, I think it's something you should make a trip to get out here to do. I mean, it's a neat location. There's so much stuff to do, and you just don't know what to say about it.
And first couple days are the best because you just see some people you haven't seen, say, for a while, and it's a sort of like a reunion party and stuff.
It
And
is.
it's just nice. It's just really sort of reacquaint with one another for these first couple of days, and you turn around and it's gone.
Yeah, it's done, right? Yeah, exactly. It's over.
Gone.
You don't believe when you're running it too. It's like get up, get everyone in, get the vendors in, and then get everything else that you have to get set up. Now this year it's 5 times the work. So you have, because you have 2 buildings, not one building. You have 2 buildings to run and an outside. So you have bonfires that got to be done. You have fireworks going off. You got the Batmobile outside.
We're going to
Then
throw
you
any
got the-
effigies in the
You got the
bonfire.
escape trailer outside. You got the escape trailer outside. You got all
I'll
that.
bring one in mine.
So, all this stuff.
We gotta watch
Ah,
Jim. He's
how about me? I have a person in mind. I'm thinking that could be.
if we see Jim running around the campfire dancing in the nude,
Uh,
just ignore him. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work, a lot of lights going up, the inflatables and you got the wrecking ball.
you got
mechanical
fireworks
ball.
too, didn't you?
Yeah,
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When are
mechanical.
the fireworks?
Um,
Saturday or?
Joe Natalini's setting them off.
yeah, we have to get with Joe and see what the good time is. We're just gonna probably be Saturday.
Your VIP's Friday, you
That's
said. right?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably be better Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pam, do you have any tickets for them that are going to come to be able to do the investigation still? There's still stuff for
We
that.
have walk-ins for Thursday available.
So
Yeah, so the Hoffman Mansion is pretty much sold out except
Yeah.
for Thursday.
We just really wanted to give people an opportunity to, and I know Thursday it's before the bash, but the tickets just sold out. Just like the VIP dinner, you know, if you want tickets to that, please get that now. Karaoke contest, please get us your songs. We do have quite a few people that gave us their songs.
And last year that was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, we were packed at karaoke. I don't know. Karaoke's like a fun thing at the bash.
It
A lot of people get up there and sing. Some of them sing really good too.
And don't forget, we have our tattooers at the bash. We
Yeah.
have Jeff's Museum. We've got Ron and Lourdes with Staticon. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Stephanie Burke's going to be table tipping.
Yeah.
Lots of people doing their lectures, round tables. Jim and Dave are on one of the paranormal round table. So we've got lots of stuff happening.
Good luck finding me.
the,
It's gonna be all
table
over.
tipping, that's going to be quite interesting. Wasn't that ground also a field hospital during?
Yeah,
Yeah, it sure
it
was.
was.
That's going to be quite interesting to see.
And we'll have impromptu things happening, you know, between friends. Some people are gonna have their podcasts going. We have
Radio
a
stations there.
station playing. So we've got lots of good stuff.
Yeah, isn't Monterey Pass's thing going to be represented?
Yeah, they're
I
gonna be
hope
up
so,
there,
yeah.
most likely, yeah.
Because we have pretty good internet there. We're gonna probably be up and running.
In all reality, it's too much to even see. You just got to sort of pick and choose.
Yeah, because there's gonna be
What
some
you
things
wanna
here. You're gonna be like
Yeah,
there'll be the wrecking ball contest. There'll be the mechanical ball contest, but there might be someone speaking, and
Right.
people might be in that speech and say, "Ah, I missed it."
so if you're
Right.
new to it, I really suggest going through the program when you get there and sort
Yeah.
of see if there's somebody you definitely want to hear or
Yeah.
witness or whatever. Just plan your day out. Otherwise, you're going to wind up missing a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and we're gonna have big whiteboards where it says, tattoos this way.
Good.
Yeah, you won't get
Not that
lost.
way.
You won't get lost. If
Yeah.
you've never been there, you won't get lost. I'll have signage all through there.
Look for people with the badge that says volunteers. They'll point
Yeah,
you in the right
just
direction.
Ask them. They have these big lanyards on, say volunteer. So just say, "Hey, where do I go for this?" And they'll tell you right where to go.
And Pam and Steve are gonna be like vapor. They're just gonna be all over the place. So if you see a trail, it's probably Pam
Well,
and Steve running one way.
Our main thing is one is to get in and thank everyone that's come. So we thank all the vendors that come, and I never get a chance 90% of the time at the bash to go thank
No.
everyone.
And please remember
Because
to
I'm
stop
always
by
outside.
PA Wounded Warriors table and meet the representative behind the table.
So it's really hard when you're running, and especially something with two hotels now, two ballrooms are going, and you got event going outside and one inside, and you got to jog back and forth. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot to do. But we're ready for the task. We got a good plan. I think the volunteers we got, I think it's gonna pull off nice. We've never had a problem. It is a new venue. It isn't a lot of space to cover, but we got a lot more volunteers this year that jumped in and said, "Hey, listen, I want to help out." Believe me, we need it, and we're very thankful, for that. So because it drains you. You start Friday, by Sunday, you're dead in the water, and you got to pack everything back up. So you take all the lights down, everything's got to come down, and then you got to go home and then unload it on top of it out of the trailer. So it's never. And your legs Monday don't want to move. I'm telling you, you get up Monday morning, you don't want to move, and that's just the Wyndham. I can imagine what it's going to be in the Eisenhower and the Aspire, because you got all these hallways to walk through, and these,
It's a maze.
it's a maze to go through that. Yeah, to get from one section to the other section. That's why I do have a golf cart for myself, so I can go from the Aspire to the Eisenhower through the parking lot. This way, someone calls me on the walkie and says, "Steve, I need you over here." I don't have to go through that maze. I can just drive and be there instantly.
And everybody whoever's staying gets free breakfast.
Yeah, if you stay there, and I think all the rooms are gone now. I don't think there's any left. I think they finally all emptied out. So
But
both
we do
hotels
have-
sold.
We do have the Brick House.
Yeah, we had the Brick House in
Giving-
Gettysburg. They're
giving
giving.
a discount.
Yeah.
So please get a hold of Brick House if you did not get your reservation for
The Eisenhower, yes,
Yeah,
prior
yeah.
go, contact the Brick House in Gettysburg. They're giving a deal on that. Have these guys come there.
maybe we'll get Lance on your.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Lance on here. Have him call in or something with them. And we'll get
Maybe
him
next
on. He
week.
could explain. The Brick House is cool too, because if you're in the Brick House, it's a good place to investigate too while you're spending the night there. That's. But can guarantee you, karaoke will not be cut off this year. For those who were singing last year and they didn't get to sing and they're bummed out, you will be rollerblades. There you go. Now I have a scooter. Actually, I have a scooter. I can go through the hallway. But I'm afraid I'm gonna hit someone on that. So I'm going
Steve
through
on
the
a
golf cart. I'm going around.
Steve on rollerblades.
No, roller skates different. Rollerblades, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot to cover, and I can't express the dinner. The VIP dinner is going to be excellent from the food they're going to have out there. I mean, you're getting hors d'oeuvres, you're getting full Italian dinner for that, so, and you get to be with John and Dave and everyone else that's in there. So, who's our guest? Did you say it, Pam? The new one for the.
No, they have to watch the page tomorrow.
Okay, the page will be listed on the page tomorrow. And trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, a costume, aren't they?
Dress as your favorite superhero for the karaoke contest.
Yep. And then if you do have a room around the pool. All right. You do have a little deck off it. If you're on the upper tier, the second floor, you have a walkout in your room. Those walkouts, we're asking the people to decorate. So if a lot of people say, I got a room by the pool, but I don't know what my room is. Call the office. They'll probably tell you what your room is. And then you can ask them, do I have a little deck out? And if you do, we're asking people to decorate that because you decorate with Christmas. We're going to do a contest on that. And someone who has that, everyone's saying, well, that's not fair. My room's not there. Well, that's what we said. Get your pool room when they first came
Can't they
out.
put lights around the door?
They can do, yeah. If you want to decorate, we'll add that. If you want to decorate, it's a good idea. Then it'll be fair. You want to decorate your door anywhere in the hallways, we'll add that. We'll judge that too. How's that? That'll work.
Andrew Darling's watching.
So that's fair. If you're not around the pool either and your room door, you want to decorate it as Christmas, we'll add that in. No win a dinner card. You were getting a dinner card for two.
That's cool. I mean, there's so much.
It'd be a
stuff
good
going
chain
on.
restaurant, maybe Texas Roadhouse or something like that, Olive Garden, stuff like that.
It sounds like it'd be fun. Sounds like it's gonna be really fun though.
So, yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. That's fair then. So if you have the deck or if you have the hallway, yeah, we've seen some real good messages on some doors throughout the window. Remember that, Pam? People hang messages on their door at the window. So we've had some fun times over there. But this place is. I can't thank the Eisenhower and Aspire people that own it and run it. They've been excellent with us. They've been helping us out big time. They keep telling Pam and I, guys, don't worry, you got this. You got this. Okay.
Yeah, they believe in our charities and they believe in what we're doing.
Right.
And they want the bash to succeed.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the bash, it's a big thing. It's something that
Right.
is out there, and it's great to see somebody actually doing something for the wounded warriors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's just you and I now, bud.
there's not we're dropping like flies. You don't see that much done for the veterans. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to sit here and do what we're doing right now.
Well, that's why I appreciate every person that's a celeb that comes because, they're donating their time. And I appreciate that. And I tell everyone that comes, I say, I wish more would come because you know what? You wouldn't be able to do your TV show. You wouldn't be able to make the money you're making off those shows if a veteran didn't keep you free. If he didn't keep you free, you wouldn't be having it. We wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Nope.
Because there's countries out there that what are you talking to? There's countries out there that you can't broadcast on.
No, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can't do anything at all. I mean, that's the crazy part. I mean, most people don't realize that. There's
Right.
still people don't realize that. We won't get into the political part of that at this point in time.
That's right, Jim.
But it's one of those things that remember being out there, thank a vet because they're the ones that are there to be there.
Yeah.
And they're the ones to help out.
And a lot of the things we got a lot of firefighters that come. We have a lot of police officers that come there. I mean, you find out they're police officers if you can tell who they are. Thank them. I won't tell you who they are, but there is some there. But
There's a couple. I just heard a song today. It's from a country artist. He's on Facebook and TikTok, Thomas Mack, and this song is something else. The one he has out there, and he was told it was too political, but I don't see anything political about it.
I think the best song is what we picked for the commercial is
Yeah.
Toby Keith, American Soldier. That says it all right there. It's I can't express more of going out. Pam and I, if we see a vet in a restaurant or something like that, we usually will buy him coffee or buy his meal or something like that for him. We've done that before. We usually each year, which we haven't done in a while. I know. Tell him, go down and tell him because he doesn't know he's not going into the mics. So, yeah, what I can do is he's done.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, if you do something for the vets, and that's the number one
Right.
that should be taken care of in this country.
It should be,
So,
but they're not. That's the problem. You know, we're taking care of other countries instead of our own. But I won't go there on this. Andrew Darling, I'm retired. Don't bother me. You're not retired yet, buddy. You still got the bash.
he can't be retired. He's playing in the dirt.
Yeah, right.
That's more fun.
I
I
can't
can't wait to see some of the stuff that he's bringing. I mean, I'm really like,
Well, he knows everything he molds and does. I taught him back in the day. So
that's right. You're the first Neanderthal.
exactly all the artwork he does and molds it and does all the painting and making these things come back to life. I taught him all that. Ask him, man. He's right on here. Retire from police. He hasn't heard me yet. It's probably on delay yet. He'll admit it.
He'll admit that that he dug you up in the back.
Everything okay?
Vaughn and them are heading back tomorrow. I don't know if they'll get back tomorrow or spend overnight, but I just lost a good friend of mine in the church. He's up in his
I'm
years,
sorry, Jim.
Oh.
early 80s, really nice guy, but he had been getting, frail. You can see getting frail and all that stuff.
Is it the one you were visiting all the time?
No, they're about the same age though.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I try to get that guy to the emergency room. The more I think about it, I think he's probably got nerve damage or pinched nerve or something like that, because it's not getting like acutely worse. So it tends to make me not think it's related to an organ or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It always could be cancer of the nerves, which will never kill you because nerves generate so
There's a such
slowly.
thing?
Oh yes.
I never knew there's.
Yeah, everything in our body can get cancer. So anyhow, the cancer of the nerves grow so slow, and if you're old, all the organs will fail long before the cancer of the nerves.
There's your answer.
They say, yes, you taught me everything. Say I told you. Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
I taught him how to shoot. I mean, when
It's like,
this guy,
he says ESP, how to dig them all.
when this
The
guy,
holes
when
while-
this guy got on the force,
The-
on the police force, he couldn't. I mean, we put a camera in front of his face, he'd miss it. And I like, is that barrel bent on your pistol or something? He couldn't shoot nothing. Had to teach him how to shoot. Ask him.
No, it helps. Dave taught me a lot with my 45. I mean, I was a really violent
Once
shot.
I taught him, he got his
I just have to
took
say
his
one
test
thing.
for the police department, the academy, and he got
Huh.
on.
I looked at Steve's guns. They need a lot of cleaning when I got looked at.
I didn't shoot him though. They were shot by friends of mine.
Excuse.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot more guns that gotta be cleaned yet.
Yeah, well, I'm ready to go now. I have
Yeah.
the shop. It's open. It's
Keep it up.
there.
Now all you have to do is learn how to pack ammunition, so we don't have to buy it so expensive.
Yeah, I have a
That's where you make
niece
the money.
whose husband
Reloading.
does that. He's really good. And yeah. And then plus these guys who are really, in shooting contests, they like to pack their own anyhow because they like to ascertain the punch that the individual shell's got.
Yeah, that's it. You get into that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of.
You thinking of doing that? Reloading?
I have stuff to do it. It's just, the thing is,
I don't know if I trust you with gunpowder.
I've done it many times. My brother showed me how to do it, but it's such a
The
variable.
one that just visited there?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of variables on reloading. I mean, a lot of ballistic stuff you got to look at.
This is weird. Before I broke to call my wife to check, and found out about my friend, something was acting on me here. I mean, I was
I could
like,
tell.
I was under a heat lamp.
I can
It
tell.
was very.
You know, it was hot in here before. It was,
I was just like
No, I could tell.
burning up. And
I was
stuff.
going to tell Pam put the air on. Was the air on in here, or you got it all
But I just really felt something was acting on me, and then I went and made
straight
the
above your head?
phone call to my wife, and then she told me and all
Over
that.
here.
And now whatever it is, it's gone. Definitely gone. I mean, I'm like,
It cooled off once you got up. I don't know what happened. If the
I don't
air
know,
kicked
but
on, but
I was really,
the other
I was very uncomfortable. I mean, something was really working on me. I wasn't getting any pictures of anybody, but
See, here we go again. Andrew is
now I
stating my
feel
truth.
like-
He says, "Sharpshooter, you were better than the academy and the army boot camp." He knows it. See, he admits it. That's
Andrew, stop making his head swell. I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
able to sit
he-
next to him anymore.
right. We just can't hardly deal with it now.
Yeah, my God. His ego's gotten
Oh shit!
Yeah, exactly. His ego's so big, it's unbelievable.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't like you at all.
But hopefully you guys are enjoying this podcast tonight. And we're gonna get Stephanie, the medium, back on again in a couple.
we
weeks.
had to wing it tonight because there was a family thing that they had to take care of, and she couldn't make it tonight. So
Dave had to use
we'll
the
have her back
restroom.
on. Dave had to leave because he had a family thing happen, so he had to leave here and head back to the house. So it's just us three. And there goes another pop.
There goes another pop.
That came from the water
That came
bottle.
from the bottle?
I heard from the bottle. That other pop was different. That was like someone popping a.
that was very loud. That last pop.
Now there's no more pops. So I got the lid off.
The heck is pops and bells ringing?
Yeah.
And then start our own movie.
Actually, I was cleaning my room today and I found a whose bell is up in our room? That yellow one with the smiley face on it. It reminds you of the one that we used exactly over at the
maybe
Oller house.
Maybe should we take that with
The
us
Oler
anytime?
house. It's older. I never can't figure out how to- it's older.
I always mix it up anyhow.
You call it the Renfield house or something.
Yeah.
No. But anyway,
Oh, I don't want the wrath of what's her name?
Nancy.
Nancy. I don't want the wrath of Nancy, so don't say it with me sitting between
It's
you
all
two, okay?
But we had that bell go off on the last show before. So I found this bell. I said, well, I'm going to put that in my kit because it's the same sound, the ding ding. So that's pretty cool.
That is.
I didn't know I had that bell. I found a lot of things in my room today I didn't know I had. I'm like, only drawers.
This is Pam's bell, the summon Steve.
It is.
Actually, his is a little ding-a-ling, the triangle bell.
See, Andrew Darling usually follows me around the bash, but last year I lost him. He got in with his other partners, his police squad there, and then I just, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Couldn't find him. Then he took a nap. He went to sleep
Well, hey,
because he flew. So he was or drove. Did you drive or flew? I think he drove last year, didn't he? I think he drove out. But he
it
was
is, a,
dead.
it is a drive.
It's a drive.
Especially you push yourself and go.
I don't know how he stayed awake, honestly. I don't know how he did. When he got there, he was awake, and then he disappeared, and then he told me, I fell asleep. There was nothing wrong with that, dude. You just drove how many damn miles or flew? Even if you fly, you get jet lag. So that's
3,000 miles.
how many miles he said?
It's 3,000 miles. I've done it. I did it from California to here in a day and a half.
He says, no, Dave had me drunk every night. That's the problem. Flew, drove this. Oh, he's driving this year. Yeah, but you're coming, for 28 hours straight. So you're coming early, I believe. I don't think you're coming on Friday. I think he's going to be there earlier than that. So he'll have to rest. So
It is a drive. Traveling across country.
what's the furthest you drove?
From California to New Jersey.
You drove to California, didn't you?
No. I drove down Florida and drove up to Canada. Now I flew.
Yeah.
Almost flew over to California.
That's 3,000.
I drove.
some odd miles.
Listen, this trip. This one with my parents. I was 17 years old. My parent. No, it's actually 18. That was with my first girl high school sweetheart. We drove out to South Dakota in an AMC Pacer.
Was it brand new at the time?
It was brand new, yeah. AMC Pacer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably up his head.
We went out to
Have to trade it out.
AMC Pacer with a pop-up camper. And the funny thing was we got into the Badlands.
That is funny.
And the Badlands is hot, but there's no humidity. So you get in there and it was like 107 or whatever. We're standing outside and you don't sweat. It's like there's no humidity. So we're out there and my dad's going to me, I'll never forget, go out there. And it's this ledge. It goes, it's like the Grand Canyon in some spots, so really far down. So you walk out this little ledge. I'm like, screw that. I'm like, "Oh, go a little further." I think my dad wanted to get rid of me because it went like a point, and it got really narrow. Oh, you can go a little further, and I'm like, this bobbing gets out on me. I'm going, that's it. It's like the Roadrunner, he bounces on it. I was like, no, the coyote, whatever. I was like, no, ain't happening to me. But we stayed there, and the funny thing is, you pull the pop-up up, and you got to put the poles underneath it. Well, my dad was 200 and I think he was 240 pounds at the time. He got in there with my mom, and he got on the very edge, and the poles, the clamps let loose, and that whole end of the thing went. And then what? It ripped the tent part and all. So he's out there with duct tape. He's fixing it. So, Dad, you got to sleep in the middle of the pop-up. You can't sleep on the ends. But the weird thing about that is when we woke up in the morning, the pool had a thin layer of ice on it. It's really cold too at night. And then by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's all melted and it's back. It's hot again.
Yeah, the
That
Badlands.
was really weird.
The Badlands are something else because you go from
That's why they call it the
high-
Badlands. Yeah,
high
it's
extreme
freezing
heat
cold.
to
Yeah.
the freezing cold. I mean, you're out there, you're wandering around out in that desert out there, and you're not got something. to
The
keep
warning
you.
signs when you
Yeah.
pull in there are amazing. So it's like this big long list. Watch out for scorpions, rattlesnakes, blah 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 blah. All this, it warns you on everything. Don't go without someone else following you in another vehicle. Well, it tells you all this stuff. Like, don't go four-wheeling without someone with you. Carry emergency kits, snake bite kits, all this stuff. There's a whole damn list to go through.
Well, that's what's so impressive when you get out west, like we're Joshua Tree State, in that part. And my God, you think of the old settlers, and you're seeing them vistas like they did with nothing. And you're afraid if you have a modern car, that bitch breaks down midway, you're in deep shit.
I got pulled out when I was there. I went there and brought my fishing pole, and I don't know what river we were on, what state we were in, but we were by this river in this campground, and I walked out, and the water was like grayish. The ground around it was like clay. It was like gray clay, and I walked down. It was hard, and then when I got right by the river, all of a sudden this went. I sunk really quick right up to I couldn't get out. I just felt myself. I thought it was quicksand. I think it was. And I kept going down, and the guy in the thing, there was no sign warning you or nothing. And I'm going down. My father's like, I'm going, Dad, Milton, I can't get out. So they ended up coming over with a tractor and a rope, and they made a lasso and they threw it around me and they pulled me out. When they pulled me out, my shoes came off. They were still in the mud. So, yeah, my shoes stayed in the mud and they never came up with me.
So,
But,
Andrew, when you're out there in the Badlands, you'll find.
Yeah, it was
Deep
really weird. This stuff how it was. I didn't sink fast like they say. This was like a clay though. It was really weird. Felt weird, and I just kept going down real slow. And I'm like, they tell you not to move because if you don't move, you don't sink. If you get all nervous, so I'm just sitting there like this. And I probably went up just to almost my belt line. And that time they got the lasso thing around me and threw it to me. They put it around me, and this guy farm tractor pulled me out and just got out that way. But I had no shoes. I had to go buy new shoes. I had flip flops. That's all I had to wear, but no shoes.
It's amazing what kind of areas the frontier has on it. It's still there. I mean, it's still when you're driving across country, it is. You can see houses and you can see nothing.
But South Dakota has too, and it was really cool in that car because the Pacer had all the windows.
Fish on wheels.
We went up these bridges that were made out of wood, and they go clunk, 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 all plank wood, and they spiral all the way up. And then when you go through the tunnel, it's like granite they cut through. Mount Rushmore is facing you. You can see the face of Mount Rushmore. And then you come down the other side, it goes clunk, 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 clunk. It was a scenic route. I was like, oh, great, Dad. That was perfect. I'm like, yeah.
Hope there's no termites in that wood.
Yeah, right? I'll tell you what, it's crazy out there. I love it. The country's beautiful out there. It's something I like to say. Like Pam says, will we ever retire in 97? She wants to get in a motorhome and travel across the country.
It's amazing. It's like when we were coming across country with my daughter, she was on the phone.
Is that her now?
No, she was on the phone, looking at the phone. Look at everything around you because you're not going to see this. It's going to change. You're going to, I mean.
I freaked out because I fell asleep in the car in the Pacer. When we pulled in the Badlands, I think my dad was pulling a joke on me or something. He goes, "Oh my God, where are we?" And I woke up and you see all the formations because there's no trees. It's the Badlands. It's just all this different clay, like red and gray, and all these rocks, and all that. You look like you're on the moon or somewhere. And I was like, "Where the hell am I?" It freaks you out.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it was.
It's crazy though. I mean, it's the stuff that you can go through and you can see. I mean, the different, you can take the northern route, the southern route. And I know when my daughter and I came out the first time, we took the northern route, and it was March, and there was still some snow on there. And I'm like, oh boy. And then we got pulled into one place and stayed there, slept there for a couple hours. And it was like, okay, it's snowing. Let's get going. You know,
We went to a town called Wall Drug out there too, out in South Dakota. We drove in, and they had a wax museum in the center of town. It was like a ghost town. I mean, they advertised like crazy when you go to South Dakota. Dad goes, "We're going there." And we drive over there. And of course, the old AMC Pacer made the whole trip. But the funny thing is, we were out there for 10 days, and we got back to Pennsylvania. And my father's like, "We're going to camp at one more KOA before we get home." And I said, "I'm driving. Hell, we are. We're going home. I'm not camping no more." That was it. I wanted to get home. So I was pulling. Yeah, I had my driver's license. I drove that Pacer right to his house, and I was out of that car. I didn't want to be in it no more. It was just like, I'm out. I'm done. But it was a fun trip. Those are trips, you'll never get back, or all the memories, and it's like that. My parents are gone now, so I just have the memories. But it was fun. It was really a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I know when I was younger, we went back from California back to Jersey. My dad had bought a Dodge van and had the big shell on the top and stuff like that. And they stopped at a Howard Johnson's, and they left me in the car. I was sleeping. Left me in the van. I was sleeping. I woke up with a bag
Andrew's
of
been
salt.
Wall Drug. He said.
I woke up with a bag of saltwater taffy. They all eating dinner, and I'm sitting in the van. Where's everybody at?
Andrew, have you been to Wall Drug lately? Is that museum, that wax museum, still there? Like, no, that's still there. They had a wax museum in there. It was really cool. But no buts.
No buts.
No buts.
And then.
Yeah, no and thens either.
So next week, what we're gonna talk about next week? It's gonna be kind of
Well,
interesting.
is your friend free next week?
I'll
Will
have
she
to
be on?
find out and see if she is. If she is available, I'll see if I can get her on here, and we'll go from there. But I think that'd be a very interesting episode. I was looking forward to tonight, and I wish her family, our condolences for having the stuff happening in their family there. Yeah, she was going to do some readings too. She was going to do some readings. She wanted to do readings.
She wanted to do one, she wanted to do it on Jim or I.
Yeah, that she knows. She's already done my reading, so she knows stuff about my family, and she tells everybody that too. I mean, this is how upfront she is. I mean, like I told you, she was attacked on social media for supposedly faking things. We know how that all works.
Right.
And she goes, I want to do it on somebody that I don't know, somebody I can't Google.
Mhm.
And I said, well, we have people here that you could do it on, and also we can bring a person that's on watching the show that you have no way of knowing who they are. We can pick somebody. And she goes, okay. That's my conversation with her this morning at 2:00 our time.
And we'd had several psychics on our show, Dave and I, doing cold readings, and occasionally they're off, but boy, sometimes this is spot on. It's crazy, and you get impressions. I know my brother-in-law Bob. He'll when we're doing a table session. Sometimes, you get him.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's some kind of
Oh, yeah.
crazy image or crap,
I've got that since I passed away, though.
and
I still get it.
and sometimes it has bearing, and sometimes, and I've been told stuff. Oh, this is very important to you. A peanut butter sandwich. I still don't know where that figures in.
Now you feel now that's a gift to me because I figured I didn't have that before until I passed and came back. But if you were told something, there's certain things I'm told that I don't want to say to someone because I'm afraid that it's going to happen. And then,
Right.
would you tell them? My question: would you tell them? I mean, if it's something that is bad, it's not good. You know.
Yeah, but are you been told to interrupt that situation? What's going to be the outcome?
Oh, I don't think the outcome's going to change.
Well, I'll tell you,
The things that's happened, the outcome has
it's similar because it's spirit, but it's different because it's more of a religious. But you know, as a priesthood holder, I give blessings, and you know, with the consecrated oil and that, and sometimes when you're given a blessing, you know the person's going to be passing away. Say if they're have a disease or that, you know they're not getting well, and you just know it. And so I guess it's the Holy Ghost influence you in that case. You say words of comfort or some guidance. You may give them some direction so they can maximize what time they have left, but you're not going to tell them you're getting well. And then sometimes you are definitely encouraged. With my father-in-law, when he had his first heart attack, his kidneys went up. And my wife was asking me to give him a blessing. I said, well, I don't know if he'll want one, because he was always very antagonistic toward the church. So we talked about it, and he said, yeah, he'd love one. So when I gave it to him, it was real specific. It was telling him, like in like 6 months, you'll get your kidney function back, and you'll know that it's the Lord, it's through your prayers and through your faith. And I'm telling you, man, according to Hoyle, it was about his creatinine started improving. And within 6 months, he was off dialysis, and he was fine for a number of years. Eventually had he did have a secondary heart attack years later. And that pretty much did his kidneys in then. But
he was blessed.
But he had, like, I think it was about 4 years there where he had normal kidney function. But it told him it was about 6 months, and I think it was pretty damn close to the day. And when it came back, so they may want to hear. And then I've had people really get angry, like
That's what I'm afraid of.
there was a guy who had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, and he said, Jim, and I know your background in cancer. He said, would you please tell me what to expect? And give me a bus. I said, sure. So I went down, prayed at the temple for him, and when I came back, I'm telling you, it was almost like a script. And he had a couple years. It wasn't like his death was imminent, but it was going downhill. And then, in a short period of time, like 8 months, he would not be able to do what he's doing now. He used to golf, and he was very active for his age. And but it told him, it prepared him. And he thanked me. He said, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. His wife never spoke to me again. She was very angry at me, and basically, I guess because I wasn't telling her husband he was going to get well, and I always felt good about it because I said he asked me, and so I prayed about that, and I responded to what he had asked. But yeah, she never spoke to me again. She was that upset. So it sort of goes in.
Well, the other thing that happens to me is when I'm driving 90% of the time in the car alone with Pam, and I'll say something right out loud, and she'll go, I was just thinking that, get out of my head. I do it all the time. So half the time when she's talking and she says something to me, I'll cut her off, and I can't help it. I just cut because I know what she's going to say. And she's like, will you just let me talk? I said, but I know what you're going to say. And then I'll say it, and she's like, get out of my head.
Well, that's the marriage thing too, because Vaughn and I are like that.
I get it all the time.
Well,
So, Kevin,
Vaughn just had a milestone. I think everyone should send you congratulations. 50 years with beautiful Yvonne.
Well, that's more on my wife. Tolerating me all that time.
That's a beautiful milestone.
So what I've been told is, I might as well tell you because you need to know this. Stay away from that damn squirrel that's on your thing that's eating your bird food. She's going to attack your ass and all that. So just let you know, so when you get attacked and bit and send them dogs after it all the time, it's going to get
Is that
revenge.
the squirrel that was here in the
No.
gutter?
Yeah, he's been watching. He's been following you. That's the one that's up in the gutter. He's following you all over the
It was
place.
hilarious. There was a squirrel up in this gutter.
Make sure he's sent over to you.
But it wasn't. It was like,
So trying to get in
and
the
then it
top
came
station.
down
Yeah.
and was sitting on the porch.
How big?
Yeah, he was like,
So he's eyeing Kevin up.
yeah, it's right there in the gutter. It's just staring at him.
him as nuts.
He's sitting there staring at Kevin, waiting for him. Like, come on, bastard! I'm gonna jump on your head.
Actually, you know what? They've been leaving the bird food alone. It's actually pretty cool.
We got 2 rabbits here now.
Yeah, we had one when I was
Yeah.
just walking in this
Yeah.
evening.
There's 2 of them
The
here
one
now.
was in the front yard.
So, and they're not really scared of you. You can get up pretty close to them before they'll jolt. And
So
run.
it started raining. I walked up this side over here, and he was over here in the grass. And he's standing there staring at me, and I was like, "What the?" Probably from Pam far away.
When my eyes just start watering all of a sudden.
See how you are.
That's not good.
Catch,
No.
catch your finger in it.
No, it's usually a sign of something.
Mhm.
Something sad's gonna happen. I don't know what it is.
But so yeah, we'll try to see if I can. I'll reach out to her and see if she's available for next week, and we'll go from there. And see
Yeah, I
if-
always have a lot of respect for those psychics. People, a lot of times people always trying to prove that they're a charlatan or something like that. But it takes a hell of a toll on them. And unless you really connected with energies like that, you don't know.
Andrew left because he had to go.
Well, when I met her, my daughter had a reading by her when we were out in Vegas, and we walked around for a while longer, and I went back over there. Christina wasn't there at the time. I went and signed my name and sat there and was talking to her, and she came across and said, "There's a lady here, and I think it's your mother." I said, "Okay." I figured, okay, my daughter told her what I looked like, So I said, "Okay." And then she goes, "There's another male lady." I'm like, "Okay." And she goes, "The name starts with a B." And I'm sitting there going, "Who the heck starts with a B?" And I'm like, "Who is this?"
Buddy Boy, the guy you meet in a truck stop.
It was Bucky's.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, "I don't know who it is." And she goes, "They like playing games. They like taking your stuff and hiding it. They like moving things around." And I'm sitting there looking at her and I go, B, Beatrice, Aunt B. She goes, "That's it." She says, "That's it." And I'm like, male, and she described her. My aunt had really short hair, gray hair. She dressed like a guy, and she described her to a T. And I'm saying, there's no way in hell you could have Googled that up.
Right.
There's no way you knew about it. And she said a couple other things. And there's something I have personally. I think everybody goes to a psychic. There's something that you have that you've made a pact with somebody. Like my mom, there's a certain phrase that my mom and I said to each other.
Mhm.
If that comes through, then I know
Sure.
person has reached out to them. And so far it hasn't happened. But you know what? You never know.
We had that at the lighthouse. Remember that? We were doing a session at the lighthouse, and this wasn't even a table tapping session. This was just a Phasma box session. We had a number of guests that night, and it was a lady, and she had lost her dad, and they had given a message, and so we're talking, and this entity came through, was identified as her father. And so we're saying, "Sir, if he said, you've got a message with your daughter, that you previously," and it came, and it was something like, "I heart love you," kind of thing.
Aw.
That, and it came right through, and she just started bursting down crying and stuff like that. And he repeated that 2 more times and stuff. And and so I made a copy of that, and we actually sent it to her. So it really meant a lot to her. But we've had energies come through with that same.
Yeah, I've had the people that were with like, "Well, what is it? What is she supposed to reply back?" I said, "It's not for you to know. That's
Right.
how I know it's who it is."
Right.
It's not, it's not like I'm going to turn, "Oh yeah, it's this." And then the person goes by, "Oh, well, this is what they said." I want to make sure that it's straightforward, but she's really good. She's did some readings for my sister-in-law and said things that there's no way she would have known and came through it,
Well, hopefully when she comes through next week, to get her on next week, she can tell me stuff because I'm very skeptical on psychics. I really am. I'm a little tough on them. There was only one Lori Moore that actually was dead on with me. So I won't say what she found out, what she told me, because if she's listening, I want her to know any of my information. But she was spot on. and told me, come here, I want to talk to you, and told me why. And I was like, how did you know that? There's no way you knew that. Because, I had just arrived on location and we were filming, and Bob Christopher said, I'm telling you, this girl's the deal. You gotta listen to her. And I'm like, I don't believe in psychics. I told him right out. And then she mentioned something to me, and I just turned around and said, wait a minute, I'll come sit and talk to you. There's no way you knew that. There's just no way you knew that. You couldn't look it up. You couldn't Google it. There's just no way.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, you can Google people. You can Google this. A lot of people you can Google, nothing's going to show up.
No, you can Google me all you want. You're going to find nothing.
Just this last Red's picture. That's
Yeah, the post office pictures, stuff like that. Until you find.
But any other business we should put out there for this stuff? Coming down?
Something will be announced shortly. We're not mentioning it at the moment. But there is something
Really good happening.
really good that's going to be happening. So you'll hear that. And when that happens, I'll let Jim announce that. I won't announce that. I'll let Jim announce that. But that's something we're working on now. And once it happens, we'll let everyone know.
Okay. And just remember, guys, get your bash tickets out there. Make sure
Yeah,
you
the
have-
VIP party, it will sell out. I can guarantee it. So I'd get your tickets now. There's a link how they get them to Venmo and Cash App.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Venmo, Cash App are taken for the tickets. Yeah, we don't do the third party thing because they take all their money and it takes more. So all this money, one pays for your food. We got to pay, of course, we got to pay the caterers for the food. But the extra money that we make off it all goes to the veterans. So everything goes in the pot for the veterans. So we're trying to find different ways to get that number way past the 20,000 that we did last year. We want to get higher.
Which
I want
was
to
an
triple it.
all-time.
Yeah,
event.
I want to triple it this year. With the 2 hotels sold out, I don't see how we can't triple it. We
That's
should be able
amazing.
to.
And we have good internet there, so we'll probably be doing a podcast from there. We'll do some interviews with some people, see what celebrities we can get come on the show during that time period.
There will be some things at the auction that are expensive, and we're not going to tell you right now. We're not letting them go for peanuts, so there'll be a reserve on them. If they don't meet the reserve, it'll go back to next year's because I'm not going to let stuff go for that soldiers for like $50. It's worth $1,000. Not doing it.
You need to
Just not doing it. So some items will have a reserve on. So some people going, so well, what's going on? It'll start at that bid, whatever we think it's fair, and then you'll still get a deal on it, but we're not going to let go for it.
With that being said, guys, that's the end of the show for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next Wednesday, and we'll go from there. So remember,
Always thank a veteran.
thank you, veteran guys, and thank you for following, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great evening.
Good evening.